Guess who's back? Conlang again. Mr. Stark, I don't feel so good. Homework from last time was decide your articles, decide your numbers, decide your genders, and research how other languages use these. And some corrections too. Possessive pronouns are actually mine, yours, his, and hers, other than my, your, his, and her. Those are actually possessive adjectives. Thank you to the person who let me know of that. I've learned something new. Word order this time. We're delving deep into the deep part of conlanging. Deep. Another different word for that is syntax. You might recognize that if you do coding. It's basically the same idea in that it's how your words, the order in which your words are put together in a sentence to form meaning. It's similar in coding, of course, obviously not with sentences, but you know what I mean. There are two main groups: subject, object, and verb word orders. Describe the relative placement of a subject, verb, and object in a sentence. The subject is the thing that is performing the verb, the object is the thing the verb is performed on, and the verb is the action. So let's take an age-old sentence in this series. He pet my dog. He is the subject, pet is the verb, and my dog is the object. That's known as SVOs, subject, verb, object, one letter for the start of each of them. But you can also change this around. So for example, some languages have this word order: subject, object, verb, or SOV word order. This is the most common one on earth. The other type is verb placement, and it describes the location of a verb in the sentence. The position of the verb in the sentence is fixed, and subjects and objects can pretty much go anywhere. I've had to lengthen the sentence slightly just to demonstrate my point a bit more. But let's look at this sentence. He pet my dog before school every day. I've chosen German for this because, one, I kind of speak German to A level, not too much level, but the sentence in German, in the most basic of sentences, is Es streichelte meinen Hund jeden Tag vor der Schule. And you can see some other variations of it in the rows below. However, the sentence in the bottom row isn't grammatically correct because the verb isn't in the second place, or last in German. It can be in the last place as well if a verb's in the second place. However, that doesn't apply here, of course. The reason it's possible to have these different word orders is because of the cases that we chose last time. See the word here in each sentence? It's nominative and it means he, whereas meinen in meinen Hund shows that it's accusative. You probably remember the big table of articles from last time that I showed, German. Yeah, it applies here as well. It applies to a lot of things. It's difficult to learn. Anyway, personal pronouns is another important thing. Quite basic, you should know what these are. Personal pronouns are words such as I, you, he, she, it, etc. Picture this: a group of people walks up behind you. You don't know who they are, perhaps who are too busy doing your work to look up. And they just say, "We won." They exclaim, "We won." Now, you can't recognize their voice for whatever reason. There's two possible meanings to this. They could be your teammates, and saying that you and your team won, perhaps. Or they could not be your teammates, and they say that they won, but you haven't, which would be a real shame. The first one is inclusive. It includes the listener, whereas the second is exclusive. It doesn't include the listener. This is called clusivity. And you can actually use this in your pronouns. You can have two different types of we, one that's inclusive and one that's exclusive. These do exist, trust me. Look, you should look it up. There's quite a few languages that actually use this, and it's quite interesting. Here are the personal pronouns in English. I've shrunk the table a bit. I've taken out all the other cases because, I mean, that would be a bit too much. I mainly want to focus on the number here, the left column. As you can see, it goes from 1, 2, and then there's 4 threes, and then there's another 1, 2, and 3. 1 is you, it's, well, I, technically, but it's speaking from your point of view. Second person is talking about someone directly. I'm talking about you. So, you know, it's kind of hard to explain these things. But here we go to some more interesting things. So in English, we have 4 third-person singulars. We have third-person masculine, which is, I mean, it is what it is. It's masculine, he. Third-person feminine, she. Third-person neutral, it. And third-person epicene. And then we obviously have the plurals, which are more than one person. So we, you are actually in that group. Or you might not be, but it's a group of people, and normally if you're saying we, you include yourself in that group. You or you all, depending on where you come from, of course, and they. It's another they, yes it is. There are some more things you can do though. It's not just about inclusivity. You could also have formality. This is where German comes in. You can see this row and this row here, which are different from English. They have you informal, thou, du in German, and that's when you're talking to a close friend. And you have formal you, or sie in German, which is when you're talking to, for example, a server at a restaurant, a parent, someone older or in a higher social class than you, or something like that. The next table is a bit complicated, but bear with me. I basically copied this straight from Wikipedia. However, this is Old English. You can see here and here, we've actually used dual, which is to do with the numbers we used last time. Instead of just singular and plural, you can actually use your numbers in this system as well. So now it's time for me to cover what I chose in my language, because I haven't actually done that yet. I'll probably do this in a few. I'll probably cover my next changes in a few episodes' time when I feel it's appropriate, or I've not got enough footage, like what was happening for this episode. So what have we looked at so far? Phonology, orthography, stress, scripts, number systems, articles, case, number, and gender. I talked about my phonology in the episode, and the same with orthography. Stress, however, I've chosen these. Tonic stress appears in the last important word in the sentence. Emphatic stress emphasizes certain information over others. Contrastive stress is what I showed off when I introduced the he pets the dog sentence as that interesting thing. And new information stress. Imagine if I asked you a question such as, where do you come from? Oh, I come from London. You say London with more of stress because that's the, that's the answer. And you want to bring their attention to it. So that covers that. Scripts. I've already said that I probably won't have one, however I did make one or I did show you how I would have made one in my episode about it. Number systems, I'm not going to have one because it's meant to be a go-between German and English. So I'm not going to change any numbers. Articles, however, I'm only having the definite article in this, which is going to be der, which is a mix between the and der, die, or das in German. And indefinite articles just won't exist. You just got to imply it if you speak English or German, I guess. I don't know why I've chosen this, but it just adds a bit of shaking up to the language. So let's cross that one off. Case. I've only chosen nominative and accusative because in my language I'm actually just going to say the object of whoever owns the object instead of, so I don't need possessive. Case done. Number. Just going to have singular, plural, and collective. As you can see, to indicate plural and collective, I'm going to use suffixes for each one respectively. Number done. Gender, I'm not going to have at all. Personal pronouns. I'm going to actually add these as prefixes to words to indicate who's performing the verb. I'm not going to have any form of formality or inclusivity. I'm just going to have these 8 personal pronouns. Well, hello there. I'm kidding, I'll stop hiding now. Homework time again. Work on your basic syntax, create personal pronouns, polish what you currently have. If you're not sure what that means, it basically just means what you currently have, or look at it and say, I like that, or I don't like that, or pick different bits and say, that's rubbish, and change it, and make it look good. It's always best to work on what you currently have, rather than doing it all at the end, because when you're at the end you think, why did I do that? And then you don't want to change it. Trust me, I've done it with many languages, and that's a mistake that I'm not happy to make. I should really stop doing that and start polishing languages as I go, because it's a waste of time. Yes, it's a good habit to get into. Remember, I have a Discord. If you need help, join the Discord or join our Amino. It's fun. Trust me. We can help you. I promise. Okay, that's it.